Tonight's regularly scheduled city council meeting. If you'll all please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be given by Associate Pastor Chris Peters of Trinity Presbyterian Church.
Let us pray. Creator God, today we are thankful for the beauty of this world and the wonder that it inspires within us. We are thankful for the beauty of this community and the sense of pride that it inspires within us. Help us, Fairhope civic leaders and citizens alike, to be mindful stewards of this place and of all people who live and work here. In this group of leaders, encourage mindfulness of rich and poor, young and old, black and white, those who live on the bay or downtown, and those who live on the perceived edge of town. Shape our community with a sense of common purpose that works for the value and flourishing of all people, with mindfulness and consideration for those on the margin. We ask these things with gratitude and hope. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Peters. Appreciate you being here. Okay, council, we had a very short work session, but a lengthy agenda meeting, and in that agenda meeting, I ask you to consider adding 3 items to tonight's agenda. Those items were item number 28, and that was a resolution to allow the Common Sense Campaign to hold a candidate forum on Thursday, August the 20th from 6 to 8 with a backup date of Tuesday, August 11th from 6 to 8. I'm going to also say that to add to that, to use, the meeting will be held in here, the forum will be held in this room, and to say, and they can use our audio and video for live streaming via the same method that we use YouTube during our council meetings and planning commission meetings. So I'll ask you to consider adding that to the agenda. Also, item 29 is mentioned at the agenda meeting to hire Hoffman Petroleum Equipment or Rangel Environmental based on the total volume and the price on an as-needed, this would be a contingency, if needed, basis for removal and disposal of hydrocarbons contained within the underground storage tanks at Fairhope Avenue and Section Street with a not-to-exceed cost of $8,500. That work will commence very soon, and we don't believe that we're going to find that in there, but that's a if found need. Item 30 I'm asking you to add to the agenda tonight would be rewarding a bid for cathodic gas services, bid number 33-20, and this is to Allied Corrosion Industries with a bid proposal of $110,136. As mentioned, for the cathodic gas services, this is to aid the gas department to catch up with their installations since they're overwhelmed, and this would just be a subcontractor to the city doing the city's work. So I will entertain a motion to add those 3 resolutions as so items moved. 28, second. 29, and 30. Okay, I have a motion.
So moved. A second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to amend the agenda and add those items. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of amending the agenda, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the agenda is amended. Items 28, 29, and 30. Item number 1 is approving the minutes of the July 2nd special called emergency city council meeting, the minutes of the 13th of July regular city council meeting, and the work session and the agenda meeting. Does anybody have any changes, additions, deletions to those minutes?
Make a motion we approve as presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve these as submitted. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approving as submitted, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, those minutes are approved. Thank you, Council. Mayor Wilson, your report, please.
Thank you, Council President. Just a few things. We have reached a point in the life cycle of some of our very large downtown trees, and we mentioned this at the work session last, and that they are needed to be replaced. The city horticulturist and in consultation with the tree committee have identified first phase of replacement and the tree specimen to use. In the first phase, all trees along Section Street from Morphy Avenue south end to Oak Street north end will be replaced. This represents 55 trees replaced with the Chinese pistache, okay, a variety of red push. For those who were never fans of the netting type of tree lights and the fact that it was difficult to completely light all of these big trees, they will be looking forward, I think, to this type of tree because we will be wrapping the branches with lights. The change out will be done at night to prevent traffic issues downtown and will be done during the month of August to be ready for the season's tree lighting. And speaking of Christmas, as we continue to maneuver through the COVID virus, our Economic and Community Development Director and Events Coordinator are busy working on Plan B. And that's, of course, only if we can't have the lighting of the trees, which we hope we can, for the lighting of the trees and the Christmas parade. But they have a very creative, unique idea that I think people will really love, but I'm not going to spoil it. They'll explain it to you when we get to that point. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Next item is public participation for agenda items only. If you would like to approach the council to discuss items 5 through now 30, if you'd come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please. Okay, I will close public participation on agenda items and remind everyone that there will be another opportunity to address the council at the conclusion of tonight's meeting on items that were maybe not on the agenda. Council comments. Councilman Robinson?
I have no comments.
Okay. Councilman Conyers?
No comments.
Councilman Brown?
No comment.
Councilman Boone?
No comment.
Okay. I just have one comment tonight. I promised Richard Johnson I would mention this. I'd asked him in the lobby prior to the meeting when we would see a bid to repair the roof at the K1 Center. You remember that the bones of the building were pretty good, but we had some water intrusion, and I believe we had talked about it, and we actually talked about it in multiple work sessions, but to go ahead and just stop the bleeding, get the leaks fixed, but not replace the whole roof. And he said that he should have that available for the next council agenda. So looking forward to getting that repair taken care of. With that, I'll close council comments and we'll move to item 5, which is a final adoption. This is an ordinance to establish water and wastewater or sewer rates for all customers of the City of Fairhope water and wastewater systems, and to repeal ordinance number 1383, ordinance number 1554, and ordinance number 1555. This was introduced at the July 13th, 2020 City Council meeting. Mr. Allison?
Mayor, Council President, Council, thank you. This rate adjustment is to help rectify the situation where we're 28% underfunded in our wastewater department. Basically, this is going to cover a lot of the operations and maintenance day-to-day type of expenses. There's a little bit of money in there from additional capital jobs that are not funded by the federal government, but the majority is to cover our day-to-day costs of operating and maintaining our wastewater system.
I want to just add to that, if I may, that this would be, they would increase to 100% funding over a 3-year period.
Over a 3-year period, and I did take the money from 2018 dollars, which is what the study was based on, to 2020 dollars to make sure we were still 100% covered.
Okay. Any questions, council? Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion for final adoption.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay.
Yeah, I want to just make sure the citizens understand that, to what Michael said about being underfunded in the sewer department, you know, that for every dollar that was collected,
Right, for every dollar that we needed to spend, we took in 72 cents.
correct.
So that other money had to come from other utilities departments to cover the day-to-day operation of the wastewater department.
And everybody understands the situation of Fairhope sewer system, so this shouldn't come as any surprise.
Correct. And we did look, the last time that we've had a wastewater base rate increase was over 8 years ago. We did have a labor cost adjustment a couple of years ago, but the base rates have been the same for about 8 years.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the question, please?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2,
Aye.
Place 3,
Aye.
Place 4,
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Item number 6 is an ordinance of annexation of the City of Fairhope property located at 560 South Section Street in Fairhope, Alabama. This is the location of the city mechanic shop. If I can have someone just introduce the ordinance, please.
I'll introduce the ordinance.
Okay, the ordinance has been introduced. Clerk tells me there's no rush. We can let this lay over for final adoption as we customarily do. I don't think we need to rush. Does anybody have a need to pass this tonight? Okay, so we'll let this lay over to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Item number 7 is an ordinance of annexation from Keith Austin Glines, Chris Estes, Wendy Estes at the property known as the Glines subdivision located on Grace Lake Road in Fairhope. And you can see, I won't read all those numbers of the Alabama tax parcels. Clerk also tells me, let me have someone introduce the ordinance, please.
I'll introduce the ordinance.
Okay, the ordinance has been introduced. Clerk tells me that there's no rush. They are purchasing the property, or either they own the property, but they're not, there are no homes or anything there now. So this is not something that they would need to have voted on, say, tonight for voting purposes or something like that. So there's no rush. So if it's okay with the council, we'll go ahead and let this lay over until the next council meeting for final adoption. Okay. All right. Item number 8 is a resolution. The mayor of the city of Fairhope is hereby directed to issue a certificate of election to Corey A. Martin for the office of place number 2 for such term pursuant to the provisions of section 11-46-25 as amended. Congratulations, Mr. Martin. He's in the audience. You want to stand up and wave? Those of us that have to go through an election are all quite jealous of you and Councilman Conyers, by the way. So the resolution is in your package. It's quite lengthy. I will forego reading that. I'm assuming that you have all read that, so I will entertain a motion to have the mayor be directed to issue the certificate of election.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have 2 motions in 2 seconds even. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing.
Congratulations.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, resolution passes. Item 9 is a resolution that the mayor of the city of Fairhope is hereby directed to issue a certificate of election to James Jimmy Reed Conyers, Jr. for the office of place number 3 for such term pursuant to the provisions of section 11-46-25 as amended. So I'll entertain a motion to direct the mayor to issue the certificate of election to Councilman Conyers.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Thank you all.
All right,
Jimmy vote
motion
on that?
carries. Congratulations, Jimmy.
Did Jimmy vote on that?
Did Jimmy vote?
Nope.
Can you vote on that?
Wouldn't do anything to mess that up.
All right. Item number 10 is a resolution to appoint election officials for Election Day, the 25th of August, 2020, and the runoff election day, which is the 6th of October, 2020, if necessary. If you see in your tab 10, you'll see the list, everything from chief inspectors, chief clerks, and runners and relief clerks. Also, note the chief inspector shall be compensated $250 for each election and for each runoff election if necessary, and other election officers shall be compensated $125 for each election and for the runoff election if necessary. So I will entertain a motion to approve the election officers or appoint the election officers.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Item 11 is a resolution the City of Fairhope elects to provide Tier 1 retirement benefits to its Tier 2 plan members, subject to approval by the Employees Retirement System Board of Control. So for those of you that may have come in after the work session, or you may be watching from home tonight or wherever you may be watching, we had a really lengthy agenda meeting, so we discussed every item on the agenda at length. So if you don't hear as much discussion, That would be why I would ask you to go back and review that video if you'd like. So, where am I, clerk? Do I have a motion or a second yet?
No, you
I'll
do not.
entertain a motion to provide those Tier 1 retirement
So
benefits to Tier 2.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 12 is a resolution that public improvements indicated herein for the North Hills at Fairhope Phase 1 are hereby accepted for public maintenance, subject to the bond posted, and authorizes Mayor Wilson to execute the maintenance and guarantee agreement between the City of Fairhope and North Hills at Fairhope LLC, which is known as the subdivider. This is just business as usual, accepting the public maintenance for this Phase 1 subdivision. I'll entertain a motion to accept the maintenance.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 13 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure an additional 2,000-gallon tank at the Fairhope docks for diesel fuel for the rec department. And after installation of the new tank, the city was informed there was an additional charge for moving the diesel fuel and preparing the existing tank for the gas. Total cost was $10,231.99. And as mentioned in the work session, I think that there was just a perception. They listed both charges, but it looked like the $10,231.99 was included in the total, but it was in addition to. We went back and reviewed that. Treasurer looked at that. Jill, I don't know if you looked at that. I know, Lynn, you looked at that. I looked at that. I'm sure the mayor looked at that, and we were all in agreement that that was just a mistake. We should have included the $10,000. So we'll ask for this additional cost to pay the company for doing the work. So with that, I will ask for a motion to pay for the additional 2,000-gallon tank.
So moved.
Second.
Your motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 14 is a resolution that Mayor Wilson is hereby authorized to execute a contract with Geocon Engineering and Materials Testing for professional engineering and geotechnical testing and observation for the Church Street utility and drainage improvements with a cost not to exceed $75,000. We talked about this. Mr. Allison talked about this in the work session. And if I can get a motion in a second, I'm going to add a little bit of comment to this, if I may. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Councilman Brown brought up the question to Mr. Allison at the break. I think that he had stated that it was going to go from Magnolia or from the plant to De La Mar, and it's actually going to go from the plant to Fells Avenue, but the portion that he was speaking of in the work session is the portion that's going to be completely opened up. So there'll be some portion from from De La Mar to Fells that's not completely opened up. So just want to make that clarification if you do happen to watch the work session. We have a motion and a second. All of those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 15 is a resolution that Mayor Wilson is hereby authorized to execute a contract with Vulcan Incorporated to perform professional design engineering services for a utility easement at Coleman Lane and Sibley Creek in Spanish Fort, Alabama, with a not-to-exceed cost of $13,800. And this is for engineering services for a gas line work that needs to be performed on the Fairhope gas distribution system that resides in Spanish Fort. Any questions for staff? Okay, if there are none, I'll entertain a motion for the mayor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Item 16 on tonight's agenda is a resolution that Mayor Wilson is authorized to execute a contract for the extension number 2 of the RFQ number PS 28-18, or professional advertising and public relations for the Community Development Department with Hummingbird and South for an additional 1 year per the terms and conditions of the original contract with a cost not to exceed $4,125. And per Jessica, this is for, the design layout of this Fairhope Connect publication. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 17 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute a contract for extension number 2 of bid number 27-17, the Fairhope Connect newsletter printing with Postmark Inc. for an additional 1 year per the terms and conditions of the original contract with an annual cost not to exceed $14,100. So the previous was for design, layout. This next resolution is for the actual printing of the Fairhope Connect. So I'll entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 18 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute a contract for extension number 2 of bid 25-18, or pest control for the city of Fairhope with Red Pest Solutions of SE Incorporated for an additional 1 year per the terms and conditions of the original contract. The cost is an annual not to exceed amount of $13,768.04. I'll entertain a motion to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I've got, is this a service contract or a bond contract?
This is vector control, pest control.
Right, but does it cover bonding for the buildings, or does it cover just the service?
Our termite bonds with another carrier.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Any further questions? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 19 is a resolution to award bid number 24-20 for elevator maintenance 2020 for a 3-year contract with ThyssenKrupp Elevator. The service is available for direct procurement through Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative for a total cost of $18,900 for the 3-year contract, or $6,300 per year. I'll entertain a motion to award the bid.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of awarding the bid for elevator maintenance contract to ThyssenKrupp, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 20 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the emergency repairs to the roof at the rec center due to damage by forces of nature during a storm on July the 12th, 2020. The repair cost will be $8,000, which was not budgeted. I'll entertain a motion to spend this money to make emergency repairs to the roof. All right, I hear a motion
Second?
and a second. All right. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 21 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the procurement of the hydrofluorosilicic acid for the water department from the Water and Waste Specialties with an estimated cost of $52,800, or an estimated 11,000 gallons at $4.80 per gallon, and depending on the population growth and weather conditions. These chemicals are exempt from formal bidding per the Code of Alabama. All right, this is basically the fluoride that we put in our water. I'll entertain a motion for the procurement of the acid.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. And I said acid, but that would be fluoride. That's just the chemical name for that. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 22 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the procurement of hydrated lime and gas chlorine for the water department from Water and Waste Specialties LLC with an estimated cost of $53,575, or hydrated lime 4,000 bags at $9 per bag, and gas chlorine 185 cylinders at $95 per cylinder, and depending on the population growth and weather conditions. These chemicals are exempt from formal bidding per the Code of Alabama. I'll entertain a motion for the procurement.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Michael, I want to ask one question. It says that it is exempt from formal bidding, but we are checking, making sure we're getting the best price. Are we getting quotes?
I believe so. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to check with this.
Kim, do you know?
We did this by quote.
You did do quotes. Okay.
Because it's used and consumed in the water system, we did not have to go out for formal bid.
Sure. Sure, okay, but we are wise to get quotes. Okay, all right. Clerk, do we have a motion and a second?
Yes, you did.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 23 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a Canon Image ProGraph TX 3000 device through a 36-month lease for the IT department. This will be used actually by the Planning and Building Department. The type of equipment needed is on the Alabama State Department of Purchasing bid list, and therefore it does not have to be let out for bid. The annual cost will be $4,405.80. I will entertain a motion for this lease.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 24 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure the InterGov software for the building department specifically designed for online submittals, issuance and payment of building permits and development plans from Tyler Technologies with a not-to-exceed amount of $230,000, which will be reimbursed through the CARES Act funding under remote work. Also, let you know, council, that the maintenance for this ongoing will be about $15,000 per year. With that, I'll entertain a motion to procure the software.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 25 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope, the Fairhope City Council accepts the 10,000 masks donated by a Gainesville, Georgia branch of the Taiwanese Chambers of Commerce in North America for distribution to citizens in need. I'll entertain a motion to accept the masks.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce in North America in Gainesville, Georgia, if you're listening, we appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. Try to use them to the best of our ability.
I'll update the local citizen that fundraised for it later. I just didn't have it with me and didn't know it was going to be, so.
Okay. Mayor, do you know how these will be distributed? How would citizens,
We were going to give
request them?
half to the ecumenical ministries and half to the police department. So when they are out and about and see people congregating, that it's not just saying, you know, y'all need to social distance, but they can also provide masks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Clerk, do I have a motion and a second?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 26 is a resolution that the pay grade for an equipment operator 2 be revised and approved in the compensation and job classification plan as recommended by the Public Works Director, Richard Johnson, from a grade 16 to a grade 17, and approve the updated equipment operator 2 job description for the same and amend the budget for the position. And really, Mr. Johnson made a very compelling argument during the work session. I'll entertain a motion to change that pay grade.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 27 is a resolution that the City Council approves the recommendation from the Rec Board for the athletic field rental agreement. In between meetings, the council, city attorney, came to me and said we should table this resolution. We asked Recreation Director Pat White to get involved in the conversation. He concurred. So there, due to some legalities with the agreement, if you would like to have Marcus. Marcus, why don't you go ahead and just give a minute or two synopsis of your concern over this and ask us to, why you ask us to table this.
There's one provision in there, when we looked at this earlier, that we had taken out of the temporary agreement, and it's dealing with, it basically says the rec board can contract with another entity on behalf of the city, and they can't do that. And it has to be something that is looked at by, you know, purchasing. You guys are the ones that are the contracting authority for the city. So any contracts have to come back here. And also, if those contracts are over a certain amount, they would have to otherwise be bid out. I don't know that they would or wouldn't, but those are my concerns with the way it's written right now.
Yeah. And I do know council cannot grant someone the authority that's only granted to the council, so.
Yeah, you could grant the authority to go out and negotiate something, but it has to come back here for authorization. And the way
Right.
that's written, it's not the way it's supposed to be, so.
Okay. Can I ask someone to table the resolution, item number 27?
I make a motion to table it.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table indefinitely?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, all those in favor of tabling the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, the motion carries 4-1. All right, thank you, council. Item number 28 was added at the beginning of the meeting. I'll read the resolution. It says, "Be it resolved by the governing body of the city of Fairhope that the city council hereby authorizes and approves the Common Sense Campaign to hold its candidate forum on Thursday, August 20th, 2020, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to allow the use of the city council chambers, the lobby, and the parking lot, and that all fees be waived, including security, and if possible, to schedule Tuesday, August 11th, 2020, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the case there are conflicts with candidates that cannot be resolved with our dates." And also I added a line, "and also to use the audio video equipment for live streaming the event via the YouTube." Also want to let you know that they will have some other live streaming methods of their own, and I believe there will be at least one radio broadcast of the forum. So with that, I will entertain a motion to pass the resolution as stated.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 29, which was also added at the beginning of tonight's council meeting, concerns the removal and disposal of hydrocarbons. I'll read that. "Be it resolved by the governing body of the city of Fairhope, Alabama, as follows, that the city of Fairhope authorizes the procurement of services from either Hoffman Petroleum Equipment or Ranger Environmental based on total volume and price on a contingency or as-needed basis for the removal and disposal of hydrocarbons contained within underground storage tanks at Fairhope Avenue and Section Street corner with a not-to-exceed cost of $8,500. And I will say, key words there, if needed. We're not stating there is fuel in those tanks, but if they do find the liquid fuel, we will have a need for this service. So I'll entertain a motion, pass this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 30, also added at the beginning of tonight's council meeting, is a resolution for cathodic gas services. I'll read that resolution real quick. It says, "Be it resolved by the governing body of the city of Fairhope, Alabama, as follows. Number one, that the city of Fairhope did request, receive, and open bids for cathodic gas services, bid number 33-20, and that two, at the appointed time and place, the following bids were opened and tabulated as follows." And you have the bid tabulations. You should have those attached to this. There's several pages there attached to your resolution. Number three, after evaluating the bid proposals with the required bid specifications, Allied Corrosion Industries Incorporated, with a total bid proposal of $110,136. Knock tip off the microphone. $110,136 is now awarded the bid for cathodic gas services. I'll entertain a motion to award the bid.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. All right, next item will be public participation. If you have anything else to bring forth before the council, whether it was on the agenda or not on the agenda, you can come to the podium and give your name and address. You'll be given 3 minutes maximum. I will say that we're going to go into executive session after public participation. Marcus, do you anticipate us coming back and taking any action after that executive session, for those that might want to stick around? Okay. Okay. All right. Public participation is open. Okay. Seeing no one, I will close public participation, and I'll read the letter from City Attorney Marcus McDowell to go into executive session. It states, as City Attorney Marcus E. McDowell, I hereby request the Fairhope City Council go into executive session based on Section 36-25A-7A3 to discuss pending and potential litigation. City Attorney McDowell does hereby declare that the City Council of the City of Fairhope rise from regular City Council meeting on Monday, July 27, 2020, to go into executive session. The City Council shall be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. At the end of the executive session, the City Council shall return to the City Council chambers to resume the regular City Council meeting. The time is 6:35 p.m. The City Council exits the dais to go into executive session. Can I entertain a motion to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay.
All right, bud. Okay.
Back to order. We have no further business to consider, so I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, council.